Hey everybody, welcome back to ICEShooting Streams. Today we have a reaction via subscriber. Asmon's reaction to the ICE incident that just happened, guys. This is more of a serious video. I have not even weighed in or have an opinion on the shooting yet. I have not seen any video footage of the shooting yet, so I'm purely reacting to Asmon's take on this, as well as give my own opinion to the incident. So if you like this kind of content, please go ahead and subscribe and hit that like button. But let's go ahead and get right into it, guys.
We need more information. Yeah, we need more information about this before you can just go and immediately pop off about it. But anyway, so this is a video of what happened, right? So I guess this is the guy right here. I want to watch the original video that came out first, and then we'll go back.
Yeah, I've heard about this incident. I've not seen the video yet. So this will be my first time taking a look. Oh, welcome, Betty. So let's see what we can find here.
Work backwards from that. So obviously, yes, there's more to it than this, but this is the first video that was released that at least I saw. So this is the guy. And, like, I'm gonna be honest, like, it can't even see what the fuck happened. Like, straight up, like, I mean, how does...
Yeah, that's not a good video, guys. I mean, obviously, somebody got shot, but you can't see where hands are or any detail, so I agree with this so far.
Does anybody know what happened? I mean, really, like, yeah. He got shot? Yeah, I've got a feeling that probably happened. But, like, besides that, look towards his feet. I mean, I can't... guys, I don't think that my vision is bad. You can't see shit in this video.
Can't.
You can't see shit in this. So anyway, let's go. There apparently is another video. This is the new video. Let's take a look at it. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
All right. There's other videos? Yeah, I know. I was just saying, like, all I was saying is that I think that people jump to conclusions, like, insanely fucking fast without even, like, you have this video and it's...
I agree with that, too. And it seems like the conclusions people jump to is, like, if you're on the left, ICE murdered this guy. If you're on the right, justify shooting. But, you know, let's take time to really break this down and see what really happened.
It's being recorded, like, through a little fucking lens like this. And, like, how the fuck is anybody gonna see even what happened? Okay, this one's TOS. Let me know when does the TOS part come up?
Well, I usually do these videos, one take, raw reaction. But if there is anything TOS, I will have to stop the video and edit that portion out. So we'll see what happens here.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
So it's just somebody yelling?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So hold on. So they just pushed that girl. What was she doing? Besides, I guess, being in a road and just screaming at their, screaming in their faces and shit. That's kind of like they do. I mean, yeah. Is it right to get pushed like that? Probably not. But I mean, why are you there? I guess you're allowed to be as long as you're peacefully. But these guys have a hard job. Okay.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Okay, what's wrong with you?
So it's just...
Okay, so she's walking up. You can see her face here, right? She's looking directly over here if you see the mouse cursor. So she's talking some sort of smack, it looks like, to this guy. And I don't think this guy is appreciating it.
Somebody yelling?
And these two have already touched, it looks like. And he's like, no.
Okay, so this is the guy, right?
Okay.
This is the person right here who... So this is the officer, and he pushes her away, and this guy gets in the way. Okay. Okay, and so
I gotta say, this is ICE right there is being a little bit aggressive. This seems a little out of control, but again, you guys have to understand the abuse these guys are going through every single day while they're over there. It's a hard job. But yeah, they pushed her, and we started this whole incident, as far as I can see. So that's my opinion so far. Based off just right there and her just look at him and saying something, I don't think that warranted him to go shove her down and then go chase her, which kind of caused this whole altercation. But we'll see. We'll see what Asmongold says.
I'll pull it aside and I'll watch it so I can see if it's actually TOS or not.
Thank you for that.
He does have the gun for sure. Absolutely 100% that's the gun. Is that the same gun? That is the gun. 100%.
Wow.
And then they shoot him. If they disarm this guy, I'm going to be honest. If they disarm this guy and then they shot him, yeah, they executed him. It looks like they pulled his shirt up. And then it's this guy right here that has the gun, right?
And another thing, too, is this whole time, looks like this guy's resisting and struggling, you know? If they want to detain him, you know, when an officer gives you a command, you know, put your hands up and, just, you know, you obey the officer at that moment. Now, are they correct all the time? Hell no. But the time to fight that isn't there. That's in court. That's later on.
So there's the gun right
there's
there.
The gun.
And see, that thing gets in the fucking way. I don't know what... This is like the exact time for it not to get in the way.
Yeah.
And then somehow, yeah.
Okay, so he's on his knees right there.
It was not the guy's gun. That's not the bad guy's gun. Bad guy's gun. Yeah, I don't know if it is or not. I mean, it would make... Like, logically, you would assume that it is. Because, like, I mean, the guy reaches over him with an empty hand, and then his hand comes back, and he has the gun. You would logically assume that he just picked up the guy's gun, especially whenever usually somebody has a gun that's on their side, right? And that's kind of where he reached. Don't get into a physical altercation with a federal agent holding a weapon, you won't get shot. It's a huge mistake to do that. I totally agree. He's totally in the wrong for doing that. But I think that this is such an easy, okay, this is how I'm looking at it, right? Guy gets thrown down.
Okay, decision tree.
Okay, so this
decision
is it.
tree.
Did he reach for the gun?
Okay, I mean, this is very logical. This is very logical.
Right?
Yes.
This is my
toast.
decision tree of like what works and what doesn't. Yes. No.
Okay, so yes, no. Okay.
Okay.
So yes. C'est la vie. Grip. There you go. Probably can't see
It's
that.
that simple.
Yeah. Well, his
Clear
chat's in the
image.
way
Okay,
anyways.
this is another one right here. Clearer image shows the firearm removed from the scuffle by the agent prior to the shooting was almost definitely the victim's SIG P320, meaning he was unarmed when shot by agents with Border Patrol and Immigration's Customs Enforcement. That does look exactly like it. Because it has the same orange thing right there. It's hard to judge right now. Yeah, it is. Stop justifying this bullshit. Well, I feel like what I'm saying about this is extremely fair.
I think so. I don't see Asmongold taking one side or the other yet.
This is extremely fair. Is that if they went and they grabbed his gun and then they shot him, they're obviously in the wrong. It's not even a question whether they're in the wrong or not. Yeah, it's very fair. Yeah, I'm being completely fair about this. I think that, like, in general, like, I've always said this. Obviously, police make mistakes. 100% police are going to make mistakes. By the way, like, I'm not tied to the idea that the police never make mistakes or they never do anything wrong. And if this is an instance of it, there has to be accountability. There does. It's not even a question. It's sure, like, I mean, the only thing is that, like, if I look at this and I zoom in on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to enhance. We're going to enhance massively.
Okay.
Man, I mean, like, that looks a lot like the other gun.
I'm not sure how well he enhanced that image there. I can't agree with that statement. I don't think it looks exactly like that gun. It's well, okay, hold on. So there's an optic. There's an optic on the gun right here. You guys see where the mouse is circling, okay? And it appears there's an optic right here. And it's about the same size optic. Now, there are other guns with optics, sure, but this is, very specific. So I'm going to say this is probably the gun, guys. I changed my mind. This is probably the gun.
It does. It looks a lot like it. Now, I understand. Now, think about it like this, right? If I was going to draw the outline of this gun, this is how I would draw the outline.
Yep. Right around the optic. Right around the optic. Just like that. Yep.
That's the only part of it that I can tell.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Okay, there you go.
That's looking pretty fucking close.
I guess minus the optic, every gun's pretty much shaped that way. But yeah, the optic is what's very unique in this situation.
That is pretty fucking close right there. I mean, I'm sorry, but like that shit is almost 1 for 1. It's 100% the same gun. Like if I was going to bet, right? If I was going to bet on whether this is the same gun, I'd say it was. If you said, all right, flip a coin, which side do you think that it's going to land on? I think this is the same gun. Yeah, I feel like there's a very, very obvious... Let me go back. I'm trying to read the rest of these. Armored vehicle entering the scene near the shooting. See, this is what I've said before, is that, like, if they had brought in the military, this would have never happened. Everything in the videos are just so messy, it's basically impossible to make any definitive conclusion without body cam footage. You're right, but I would say that 80% chance, this is, and I think that it's very important right now, that if this guy did get shot when he was unarmed, that there is accountability for ICE for doing this. Because you can't have, like, for example, whenever they shot the woman with the car, that Renee Good, I think that, like, it was much more ambiguous. I think that it's very obvious that if you're shooting an unarmed man whenever they're being restrained by 6 other people or 7 other people, very, very clearly your life was not in danger. You're not defending yourself from a deadly threat. This person's unarmed, and that's it. There's literally no excuse for it. And I'm a big supporter of ICE. I think ICE is great. I think they should deport every single illegal alien in the country. All of that being said, you can't have ICE, because I'm a supporter of ICE.
Yeah, and I gotta agree with Asmongold again on this. This is not definitive. Again, you need like a good body cam photo to really see what happened there. But based off the angles we have here, I would have to say it looks like 6 officers held this guy down and shot him. I mean, after taking his gun, why did he show up with a gun to begin with? Why is he there to begin with? I mean, there's a lot of bad decisions that he did to lead up to his demise. I don't want to say execution yet until I see a body cam, but there's a lot of bad decisions made to get him there. He shouldn't have been there. And if he did show up, he shouldn't have had a weapon. And if he showed up without a weapon, he should follow lawful orders. But again, they pushed down a girl, and he went to her defense. So, right now I'm having to lean on the side of, again, I'm also a huge supporter of ICE. I think that if you're here illegally, you got to go. I don't think I'm kind of with Joe Rogan on the side of, like, I think we're going about it in a really crazy way. But also, it was a really crazy thing to have open borders for the last 4 years, and you basically you're importing a second class of citizens to the whole power for one party. You're trying to turn the country into a one-party state, and so I get why we're doing it, but it's just rough to see. But yeah, in this situation, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards, not unlawful shooting.
That means that I need to have accountability for ICE. Trump's a retard for not sending in troops 2 months ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. I know. Trump is going to be Biden for having his brain fried for doing too many things domestically and internationally.
Well, okay, so Trump's trying to send National Guard in many places. What happens? It gets stopped in courts. He gets fought on everything he does. Trump can't just say, I want to send something. Everybody's going to fight him. No matter what he does, good or bad, he's going to have to go through court to get anything done. So, but I do think the National Guard is being deployed now. So that's happening.
Nationally? Yeah, I think so too. Motive was found on his social media. He was retweeting Kill ICE Agent TikToks. That's fine, but I don't think that they shot him knowing what was on his TikTok page. Like, I mean, realistically, like, I don't think this guy's a saint, right? Like, I don't think that this is some kind of like innocent guy that did nothing wrong. Like, you should have not gone on there. You should have not been obstructing the police. You shouldn't have been touching the police. You shouldn't have gone up to the police and done that with a gun. You shouldn't have been resisting arrest. He did all of those things wrong, but none of that justifies shooting the guy in the moment, other than the fact that your life is in danger. Like, they didn't do a TikTok review before they shot the guy. Do you think any of this is martyr syndrome or desired suicide? I think that a lot of these people, this is the problem, is that people like Tim Walz go out there and they, basically like amp up this idea that ICE are not police enforcement, ICE are not law enforcement. ICE are absolutely law enforcement. This is the easiest Google search of your life. It's very clear that they're law enforcement. So when you've got him out there saying that, when you've got him out there that, like he says peacefully protest, but he never explicitly says not to interfere and attack federal law enforcement. Because if Tim Walz had come out there and he had said very clearly, do not interfere with federal law enforcement, do not try to touch federal law enforcement, do not impede their investigations, do not be violent towards them, and he said that just in plain English, I think that would go farther than almost anything else. But he's not doing that. Yeah, Tim Walz is live. Okay, give me a minute. Let me see if I can find it.
Oh, here we go, guys.
And today that campaign claimed another life. I've seen the videos from several angles, and it's sickening.
Yes.
But I have a strong statement here for our federal government.
Where's your strong statement for these rioters and people going out and obstructing the law? I want to hear that side of it too, Tim. I know you got a lot of strong statements for your political career, just to make yourself sound better and your party to sound good. But like, why don't you protect your people? You tell them not to go out there and act like fools.
Minnesota's justice system will have the last word on this.
Just like they did with the last one.
It must have the last word. As I told the White House in no uncertain terms this morning, the federal government cannot be trusted to lead this investigation. The state will handle it, period.
But you haven't been handling anything, Tim. That's the problem. If he's talking about the fraud investigations, of course he wants the state to handle it, because he controls it. He put his little hand in the cookie jar and make himself, not appear guilty I think he is. So of course he wants to use all these instances, and this has nothing to do with the fraud thing. He's trying to push it back to that. This has to do with immigration enforcement right now. So Tim, no, you're going in, buddy, for fraud.
Let me say something else, and this is critically important. All of us understand what happened this morning and the tragedy of it, and my deepest sympathies to the family.
Let me turn it up.
Of a 37-year-old Minnesota resident, a lawful firearm concealed permit carrier, something that I've been lectured to by Republicans for decades.
Was it lawful to assault a federal officer?
That is not only your right, it's your duty.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so now you're backing the Second Amendment? Where was that like when you're running for vice president? I didn't hear any of that stuff then.
We know that the potential to further inflame tensions is high. And to Minnesotans...
Oh, it's so cooked. It's totally cooked. It's 100%
peace and
cooked.
Normalcy back to our lives. Mm-hmm. They want chaos. We cannot and we will not give them what they want by meeting violence with violence.
Then tell them to stop impeding arrests.
Minnesota and our local law enforcement,
thank you,
as you have seen,
tell them to stop doing
have done everything possible to de-escalate. Local media has reported extensively on the cooperation to
telling him to
de-escalate
stop.
this situation.
Jesus.
Donald Trump, I call on you once again. Remove this force from Minnesota.
Well, we're trying to remove you as a force from Minnesota.
They are sowing chaos and violence. We've seen deadly violence from federal agents again and again and again. But in contrast to that, on these frozen streets, what you witnessed yesterday was the best of Minnesotans, peacefully exercising their First Amendment rights. And I attended in the church basement hundreds of Minnesotans from all faith packing care packages for families that have been ripped apart. Despite the horrific acts by this federal government, Minnesotans are standing up for the rule of law. They're protesting loudly and urgently, but peacefully.
last week.
It must stay that way, Minnesota. Minnesotans are witnessing, and we're creating a log of evidence for the future prosecution of ICE agents and officials responsible for this. They're helping their neighbors. They're walking their kids to school. They're feeding families. I salute their courage and their restraint. And I call on all Americans to see the decency that this state is exhibiting and the horrific cruelty, unprofessional, absolute abomination that is passing for what these ICE agents are doing on our streets. They think they can provoke us into abandoning our values. Well, they're dead wrong. We'll keep the peace, we'll secure the justice with our neighbors, and we'll see this occupation ends. Minnesotans and Minnesota law enforcement that continuously is being denigrated by this administration will continue to be the adults in the room, the professionals in the room, the decent human beings in the room that will keep the peace. With this, I'd like to turn it over to Department of Public Safety Commissioner Bob Jacobson to update you on the situation. As
See, he never tells people to not go and impede investigations or the law enforcement.
Again, yeah, I was waiting for that. I was waiting to hear him tell them, hey, if you're going to go, be peaceful, follow directions. You can't just go out there and impede, get in the middle of the road, block ice agents with your car, or an ice agents over with your cars. This can't be like going back to like BLM days, where they rioted in the streets and they were being, it was chaotic, right? So Tim needs to tell his own people to also stop.
That's the problem. Is that he's really the one that's making this happen.
I'm Bob Jacobson, Commissioner of Public Safety for the Department of Public Safety, and again, it's my honor to serve.
Okay, well, Asmongold streams go on and on and on. This is going to go on for like 2 hours, guys. So, but looks like we got his take, and I, at this point, tend to agree with what Asmongold's saying. I'm reacting first off to his reaction, and it looks to me, based off the angles of these videos, that ICE was on the wrong here, and I hate to say it, that hurts. So I really hope we see some body cam footage, because who knows? Maybe he had another weapon on him. Maybe he was trying to grab a weapon, a gun. Who knows what actually happened? All we see is, like he said, through a little lens from across the street, but not right there in the spot where the ICE agents are at. They put their lives in danger every day, trying to carry out the law. But based off what we see so far, it looks pretty damning. I also agree. Tim Walz needs to step up and tells people, stop obstructing. Make sure your protesting stays peacefully. So, but all right. Well, that is my reaction to Asmongold's reaction. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you like this sort of content, please like, subscribe, and leave in the comments anything you'd like me to react to. Until next time, this is Hex, signing out.